Okay, so welcome back, students. So now the second part of your exam, that is going to be your Viva. And for Viva, at a time, I'm going to keep 5 students, and these 5 students are going to be alphabetical order, simply. So just I'm telling you just a few more minutes. So all of you will join. Then I will tell you what is going to be the order. Except one, all are here. So just I'm telling you the sequence, and the one who is remaining will join the last. So first group is going to be Adish, then Ayushi, Demetrius, Devanshi, and Ishita. Okay. So second group is going to be Janvi, and Kshitij, Manaswini, Namrita, and Nandini. And after that, next five are going to be Nehal, Rupal, Sahiba, Nehal, Rupal, Sahiba, Sanjana, and Shakti.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, Athoiba isn't there in the call. Athoiba.
हाँ क्या हुआ उसका?
सर वो कॉल में नहीं है.
हाँ तो कोई नहीं, उसका लास्ट में ऐड करेंगे. अगर नहीं आया तो देन या तो उसको ऐड कर, नहीं आया तो इज एब्सेंट. मार्क यू नो. Shakti, and then Shivani, Tanvi, Dev, Vanshika, and Vivek. And then Yukta, Yuvraj, and Athoiba. Okay, so this is the grouping for your Viva. So now thing is that five of you, those I called first five, you all have to stay into this team. All rest can leave. And while this first group is going to leave, like Ishita and Devanshi, now your responsibility to call the next five. That is Janvi, Kshitij, Manaswini, Namrata, and Nandini. Okay. So then Namrata, Nandini, your responsibility to call Nehal, Rupal, Sahiba, Sanjana, Shakti. And then Sanjana and Shakti, then your responsibility to call Shivani, Tanvi, Tridev, Vanshika, and Vivek. Then Vivek and Vanshika, it's your responsibility to call Yukta, Yuvraj, and Athoiba. If anyone of you are not joining, then you will be considered as absent. Okay. So other than Adish, Ayushi, Demetrius, Devanshi, and Ishita, you may leave the team. All of you, other than these five, please leave the team. Okay, so question is open for you all. So it is going to be run one by one. Okay. and everyone have to answer the question. Okay, the first question is why in your Lambert-Beers law there is a constant. Why we call it as a molar extinction coefficient. All of you turn on your camera. All of you turn on your camera. Adish, Ayushi, Demetrius, Devanshi. Yes, Adish. Start with you. What
Yes,
is
sir.
constant in we call it as a molar extinction coefficient. Demetrius.
Molar coefficient.
Okay, so Ayushi, now it's your turn. Ayushi, the same question to you.
Sir, I don't.
Okay, so then Demetrius, it's your turn now. Demetrius, turn on your mic.
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible
Yes,
now.
sir. So molar extension coefficient is the measure of how well a chemical species can absorb a given wavelength of light.
Okay, so same question is for Devanshi. Devanshi, why we call that coefficient as a molar extinction coefficient?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay, last is Ishita. Yes, Ishita, same question to you. Okay, so second question for you. Just a minute. What is isocytomer? Question for all, open for all. Adish, what is isocytomers?
Isocytomer, sir, these are
Okay, so Ishita, sorry, now Ayushi.
Sir, isochizomers are the restriction enzymes that are isolated from different organisms and can have identical recognition sequences.
Okay, so Demetrius, what are isocytomers?
So isocytomers are a pair of restriction enzymes specific. They have the same recognition sequence. And for example, there is SPH1 and BBU1, which both have a restriction sequence of CGTAC/G.
Devanshi, what are isocytomers? Devanshi?
Sir, they are the restriction enzymes that are different from the different organisms. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, Devanshi, continue. Devanshi, isocytomers.
Sir, they are the pair of enzymes. They are specific to the certain
What certain?
specific recognition site.
Ishita, what are isocytomers? Ishita, turn on your mic. You are not audible. Ishita, you are not audible.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, now you are audible.
Sorry, sir. I don't know. There was some setting issues. Sir, they are the restriction enzymes which are present in pair and are having same recognition sequences. The sites, recognition sites.
Okay, so last question for you all. How isopropanol act? What's the role of isopropanol in your DNA extraction and how it act? So first to the Adish.
Sir, it is used for precipitation. Like it precipitates, isolates. So it makes it's used for precipitation in order so that we can usually remove it. Then
Adish, please, you got disconnected or might be I got disconnected, one of us.
yes,
Please,
sir, sir, isopropyl alcohol is used for precipitation and of DNA, and which makes it settle down at the bottom, and which can be removed later.
okay,
It is
so
used as a
now
precipitant.
same question is to Ayushi. So what is the role of isopropanol and how it acts? So two components are there in this question. So you have all have to answer both the two. Yes, Ayushi.
So basically the alcohol or the isopropanol, it is helpful in precipitating the DNA and how it acts. The DNA gets in chilled form, in chilled ethanol, the DNA gets precipitated out.
Okay, so same question is to Demetrius.
So, sir, we use 70% isopropanol, which has 30% water, and one use is obviously, as Adish and Ayushi said, that it helps to precipitate nucleic acid, but it also helps to precipitate proteins, but it is much less effective in protein. So, a quick precipitation would purify DNA from the protein contaminants. So, it basically removes the DNA from the aqueous phase, which was in solvent extraction. And there is also another use of it. So during this precipitation, some salts also get included in the precipitate, which are contaminants. And to remove that, we use this solution again, because it also has 30% of water, and this water removes the salt from the DNA.
Same question is to you, Devanshi, also. So what's the role of isopropanol and how it acts?
Sir, isopropanol is used for the neutralization of DNA sample. Sir, the salts which are present neutralizes the negative charge, and it hydrates the water molecule. That is why the DNA samples precipitate out from the solution.
Okay, so final Ishita, same question to you also.
So isopropanol is mainly used for the precipitation of DNA, so that out of all the solution the DNA can be easily extracted, and DNA can be easily extracted, and it is also used for neutralizing the DNA, so that the negative charge in the negative particles from the solution can be easily removed and the DNA can be extracted.
Okay, so Ayushi, Ishita, so thank you all. So please, you may exit. And whole next group, Janvi, Kshitiz, Manashwini, Namrata, and Nandini.
Thank you, sir.
Janvi, Kshitiz, Manashwini, Namrata, and Nandini. Janvi, call the Namrata and Nandini also.
Okay, sir.
So Manashwini, turn on your camera.
Yes, sir. Just 1 minute.
Okay, so Namrata and Nandini, they are not joining. And Namrata is also there. Namrata, turn on your camera. Call Nandini also.
It's showing calling at the Nandini side. It's connecting.
So Nandini is not joining. Then should I mark her absent? Okay. So just wait for half more minute. So meanwhile, Nandini also join. Okay, Nandini, turn on your camera. Okay, so first question for you all. Nandini, turn on your camera. Nandini. Nandini, your face is not visible to me.
Sir, am I visible now?
You are not. It might be because of me. You are not visible. Might be you are visible. Okay.
Sir, the video is on.
Okay. So now the first question for you all. Question is same for you all. Okay. So question won't change. It doesn't mean that for each of you I'm asking different questions. Same question I'm going to ask you. So first question is in Lambert's-Beer's law, there is a constant of proportionality that called the molar extinction coefficient. Why we call it molar extinction coefficient? First to Janvi.
So I don't know.
Kshitij, lift your face. Kshitij,
Sir,
lift
can
your
you
face.
repeat? Sir,
Lift
can
your
you
face
repeat?
first. Lift your face first. Put your mobile a bit down so that whole of your face should be visible to me. I don't
Sir,
want to see your walls, your bed. I don't want to see that. I want to see you only. Okay, so all of you listen carefully. Don't ask me to repeat each and every time. In Lambert's-Beer's law equation, we have a constant of proportionality to that we call molar extinction coefficient. Why we call it molar extinction coefficient? Okay, so same question to Manaswini, to you also.
Sir, so basically, as we already know, the Lambert's-Beer's law can be written as A is equal to epsilon into L into C. So epsilon is the molar extinction coefficient. So this coefficient is basically, it's a measure to determine how strongly a particular substance of a particular concentration can absorb light of a specific wavelength. So it says molar extinction coefficient because it's measured in the terms of mole, and it can be measured in the terms of mole. Usually that is how it is used, and it tells us exactly how much light it can absorb and what is the strength of that absorption.
Okay, so Namrata, same question to you. Turn on your mic, Namrata.
Sir, I don't know why is this thing on the phone.
Okay, so Nandini, same questions to you. In Lambert's-Beer's law, we have a constant that we call the molar extinction coefficient. Why we call it so?
So it's basically how any molecule absorbs any particular wavelength of light. Is that it?
Okay, so now a second question to you. On what factor molar extinction coefficient depends? Kshitij?
On what factors?
Molar extinction coefficient depends. Next is Janvi.
Yes, sir.
On what factor molar extinction coefficient depends?
Sir, it is depend maybe on optical density.
Next is Manaswini.
Sir, if you look at it from the Lambert-Spears formula, then it depends on absorbance, optical path length, and concentration of the substance.
Next is Namrita. Namrita. Next is Nandini.
Sir, it depends on wavelength of light, the distance traveled, and the concentration of solution given.
Okay, so next question is, what is isocodamers? Question is to Janvi. What are isocodamers?
What, sir? I can't hear it.
What are isocodamers?
What, sir?
Isocodamers. Isocodamer.
ISO what, sir?
Isocodamer. Isocodamer. Kshitij? Kshitij?
Sir, I don't know.
Namrita?
Sir, it is a pair of restriction enzyme that have a slightly different restriction sequence.
Manaswini?
Sir, they are a pair of restriction enzymes which have different recognition sequences but produce the same kind of ends.
Okay, so Nandini?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you repeat that? I have.
Nandini, first turn on your camera.
Yes, sir.
Yes, what are isocodamers?
So they are basically same. They have this. They have the same result. I mean, it produces the same result at the end, but like the restriction enzymes, their pathway is different.
Okay, so one more question to you. What's the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction and how it acts? Kshitij, first to you. Kshitij, lift your face. How many times I've told you lift your face? Are you able to see yourself?
Sir,
Are you able to see yourself?
yes, sir.
But we are.
Sir,
Manaswini, are you able to see the whole face of Kshitij?
Sir, I can see half.
Kshitij, everyone is able to see you half, and you are saying you are able to see yourself full. Yes, Kshitij, tell me, what is the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction and how it acts?
sir, in role of
Okay, so same question is to Janvi. Janvi, what is the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction and how it acts?
It helps in removal of supernatant from the pellet.
Same question is to Namrita.
Sir, the role is to precipitate DNA from the solution.
This question have two components. So same question is to Manaswini.
Sir, so basically isopropanol helps precipitate the DNA and it does this by removing the hydration shell that is around the negatively charged phosphate parts of the DNA molecule.
Same question is to Nandini.
So basically, isopropanol it neutralizes the negative charge that is present on phosphate, and it basically precipitates the DNA inside the supernatant crystal.
Okay, so thank you all. And next is Nehal, Rupal, Sahiba, Sanjana, and Shakti. So Namrita and Nandini, please call these five. Nehal,
Alright,
Rupal, Sahiba, Sanjana, and Shakti.
Thank you, sir.
You may all exit.
Sir, Nehal, Rupal, Saiba.
Nehal, Rupal, Sahiba, Sanjana, and Shakti. First of all, those who are joining, they turned off their background. All of you turn off their background. So background should be whatever it is. It should not see. I'm seeing a false background around you. It is hiding the things. Okay, so Nehal, Rupal, Sanjana, Sahiba, and Shakti. Please invite Sahiba and Shakti, and turn on your camera. Nehal, Rupal, Sanjana, and turn off your background also. Turn off your background effect.
Sir, is it okay now?
Still background effect is there. Turn it off completely.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, now it's fine. So Sanjana, Sahiba, and Shakti, also turn on your camera. Shakti, turn on your camera.
Yes, sir. Am I visible?
Yes, Shakti, now you are. Okay. So first question is, in Lambert's-Beer's law, we have a constant to that we called molar extinction coefficient. Why we call it so?
Sir, we have to tell its use.
I am asking, please listen to the question again. In Lambert's-Beer's law, we have a constant. Okay, to that constant, name of that constant is molar extinction coefficient. Why we call it?
Sir, because it is used to measure that how strongly the chemical absorb the light in the given sample or at a particular wavelength.
So next, same question is to Rupal.
Sir, it is used to measure that how strong a substance absorbs light at a particular wavelength. That it is dependent upon the chemical composition and structure.
Same question to Saiba.
So the term molar extinction coefficient is to measure how strongly a chemical species absorbs or light or a particular wavelength, and it is an intrinsic property of chemical species that is dependent upon their structure and chemical composition.
Same question to Sanjana.
So, molar extinction coefficient is a measure of how strongly a chemical species or a substance absorbs light at a particular wavelength, and it is a property of chemical species that is dependent upon what their chemical composition is and what their structure is.
Okay, same question to Shakti.
Am I audible?
Yes, Shakti, you are audible.
Yes, sir. So, molar extinction coefficient is basically it tells how strongly the substance can absorb the light and of a particular wavelength. So it makes the calculation easy because it remains constant.
Okay, so now question number 2. Question number 2 is, what are isocodamers? Question to Nehal.
Sir, they are the restriction enzyme that have different restriction site, but they cut at the same site or at the same point.
Rupal, same question is to you.
Sir, they are the restriction enzyme that share the same sequence, but but it is not mandatory that they cut at the same place.
Sahiba, same question to you.
So there are a pair of restriction enzymes which are specific to the same recognition sequence.
Same question is to Sanjana.
So isocodamers are a pair of restriction enzymes that have slightly different recognition sequences, but upon cleavage of DNA, they generate identical terminal sequences.
Same question to Shakti.
Yes, sir. So isocodamers are restricted endonucleases. So they basically produce same nucleotide extensions, but they have different recognition sites.
Okay, so now the question number 3 is there. In DNA extraction, we use isopropanol. So what's the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction and how it acts? So 2 parts are there in this question. Okay, first to Nehal.
Sir, isopropanol is used for the precipitation of DNA from the solution. And sir, what's the next part?
How it acts?
Sir, it removes the hydration cell from the DNA and
So same question to Nehal. Rupal, what's the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction and how it acts?
Sir, isopropanol it uses 30% of water and 70% of ethanol, and it is also used in the precipitation of DNA and also nucleic acid, but they are much less effective in with proteins.
Same question to Sahiba.
So isopropanol precipitate the nucleic acids but are much less effective with proteins. Quick precipitation can therefore purify the DNA from protein contaminants.
So Sanjana.
Yes, sir. Sir, so the overall function of isopropanol is to precipitate DNA from the solution. The salt neutralizes the negative charge of the negatively charged phosphate in the DNA group, and the isopropanol removes the hydration, the H2O molecule around the phosphate.
Same question is to Shakti.
Yes, sir. So the basic function of isopropanol, chilled isopropanol, is to precipitate the DNA. So what happens is DNA has a phosphodiester bond. So it is hydrophilic in nature. So it forms a hydration cell. So when this isopropanol acts, so it precipitates the DNA and it breaks that shell, hydration cell.
Okay, so thank you all. Please, you may leave the team. And Sanjana and Shakti, please call Shivani, Tanvi, Tridev, Vanshika, and Vivek.
Okay, sir.
Shubhra.
Please, all of you, turn on your camera and turn off your background. Turn off your background. and turn on your camera, turning off your background. Okay. So Tridev, turn off your background. Tanvi, you also make your background clear. Yes. Vivek, turn on your camera. Vanshika is remaining. Call Vanshika also. Tridev, make your background clear. Don't blur it. Turn it clear. Shivani there. Vivek is there. Vanshika is not joined yet, so please call Vanshika also. Call Vanshika also. Please call Vanshika also. Vanshika, turn on your camera.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the first question is in Lambert-Beer's law, there is a constant of proportionality. The name of that constant is molar extinction coefficient. Why we call it so? Vivek, just please tilt your camera so that whole face is visible. Yeah, that's fine. Shivani, keep your camera on. Don't turn it off.
On. So it's on.
Yeah. So now the first Tanvi. We are starting with Tanvi. Should I repeat question? My question is that in Lambert-Beer's law, there is a constant of proportionality. Name of that is molar extinction coefficient. Why we are calling it so?
So I think that it's used to measure chemical species to.
Okay, so same question to Tridev.
Yes, sir. Sir, is my question also clear?
Tridev, your voice is not audible clearly. Please check your mic.
Am I audible?
Yeah, it's a bit better, but not very much clear.
So I'm having some network issues.
So correct it. Meanwhile, I'm going to next Vanshika. Same questions to you.
Sir, I know the answer. Can I answer it?
Answer it later, no problem. So Vanshika, same question
Yes,
to you. Okay, so next is Vivek. Same questions to you.
Sir, basically the molar extinction coefficient, which is what you asked, right? That's basically a measure of how strongly a certain chemical species is going to absorb the light at the given wavelength. And basically we use this term, this coefficient, we use it in the process of spectroscopy, and it helps us measure the concentration of a given chemical within the solution.
Okay, so same question to Shivani.
This is the
Shivani, speak a bit near to the mic. If you are not audible, that means you are not answering.
yes, sir. Yes. So basically, it's the measure of the amount of light absorbed by an solution in a transmitting solvent.
Okay, so now to the Tridev. Same, now you can answer. You said you know the answer.
Yes, sir. I knew the answer that Vivek spoke. Just that only.
Hmm?
Sir, I knew whatever Vivek spoke.
You have to speak by yourself. But as
Okay,
Vivek has given his answer, now it's your turn to answer. Don't say that
Okay.
I'm agreeing with Vivek or this or that. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm
So
asking you,
basically,
that means you have to answer it by
yes, sir.
your words.
Yes, sir. So basically, it means the measure of how strongly a chemical species basically absorbs the light in a particular wavelength, and it is an intrinsic property basically, and it is used in Beer-Lambert's law, and it's A is equal to ELC.
Okay,
And
so one second question now. Vanshika, why you are turning off your camera? Okay, so second question is, what are isocodamers? Question is to Tanvi.
So can you repeat?
Yeah,
What
I
are
didn't hear it.
isocodamers?
So isomers.
Codamers. Okay, so same move to Tridev. Vanshika, turn on your camera.
The camera is on.
But you are not visible to me. Vivek, are you able to see Vanshika?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everyone's camera is on.
No, are you able to see Vanshika?
Yeah, yes, sir. Vanshika's camera is on.
Okay, so Tridev?
Yes, sir. I can also see his camera.
No, I'm asking the isocodamers.
Sorry.
so isocodamers are basically pair of restriction enzymes. And so am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, so isocodamers are basically pairs of restriction enzymes that have slightly different recognition sites, basically. And
Okay, so same question move to Vivek.
Yes, basically isocodamers, they're basically those enzymes which recognize a slightly different sequence, but they're going to have the same end. So they basically have these slightly different recognition sequences, but then upon the cleavage of DNA, they produce certain similar sequences. So that's why at the end of the process, they'll be the same.
Okay, so kaun bacha? Shiva.
Yes, sir. So basically, we have these have different recognition sites, but
Yes, Shivani, same question to you. What are isocodamers?
sir, am I not audible?
You are audible now.
So basically, they have slightly different recognition sites, but they have the same impact.
Same?
Same impact, sir. So same result. The cutting they do is same.
So what do you mean by cut? What do you mean by result and cut?
So DNA fragments. Cleaves the DNA fragment nucleotide sequence that they cleave. The recognition site is different, but
Okay, so third question. What is the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction and how it acts? So two components are in this question. What is the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction and how it acts? So first, Tanvi.
So isopropanol is used to precipitate nucleic acids, and it is less effective with proteins, and quick precipitation can purify the DNA from protein contaminants. And there is also like a function of salt and isopropanol to use to precipitate DNA from the solution, and that salt neutralizes the negative charge on the phosphate in DNA, and the isopropanol removes the hydration shell of H2O molecule around the phosphate.
Okay, same question to Tridev.
Yes, sir. So basically, isopropanol is used for precipitation of DNA from the solution, and the salt basically neutralizes the negative charge and of the negatively charged phosphate in the DNA basically, and isopropanol removes the hydration cells of H2O molecule, which is around the phosphate. That's it, sir.
Same question is to Vivek.
Yes, sir. So basically, the function, as everyone has said so far, is that it's to precipitate the DNA from the solution. So basically, the neutralization of the negative charge of the negatively charged salts in the DNA. And basically, the isopropanol, it's also going to remove the hydration cell of the H2 molecules around the phosphate. So that's the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction.
Okay, the same question is to Vanshika.
Sir, isopropanol can also remove the salt, and it is the addition of alcohol.
Okay, so thank you all. Please, you may leave the team. So now Vanshika and Vivek, please call Yukta, Yuvraj, and Atoiba.
Okay, sir.
Yukta,
Thank you, sir.
Yuvraj,
Thank you, sir.
Atoiba.
Sir,
Yes,
I didn't answer.
I asked you 3 questions. Which
No,
question did
sir.
I ask you?
No, sir, you didn't ask Shivani the last one.
Okay, so meanwhile they are calling them. Answer the last one.
So basically, the isopropanol is used in the precipitation of DNA, and solution.
Okay, so thank you. Please
Thank
call
you, sir.
next. Yukta, Yuvraj, and Atoiba.
Sir, I'm just inviting them. Just one moment.
Yuvraj, you can turn on your camera.
Sir, just waiting for Yukta to join and then I'll leave.
Okay, so
Hello,
thank you,
sir.
Vivek.
Am I
Yukta and Yuvraj, both turn on your camera, and you can call Atoiba also meanwhile. Okay, so Yukta, please lift your face or tilt your camera so
Sir,
that I
am I
will.
visible?
Yeah, you are visible now. Okay, so have you called Atoiba also?
Sir, no, sir, I didn't.
Just give a
Actually,
call to Atoiba.
I was unable to join before because of the network issue. So I
Okay, so
changed.
Yuvraj, please give a call to Atoiba.
Yes, sir.
Please give a call to Atoiba. Okay, so we can consider that Atoiba is not joining, so he's absent. Okay, so Yuvraj and Yukta. So first question is, in molar extinction coefficient, sorry, in Lambert's-Beer's law, there is a constant called molar extinction coefficient. Why we are
Yes,
calling
sir.
it so? Why we are calling it is molar extinction coefficient? Yes, Yuvraj, first is to you.
Sir, molar extinction coefficient is basically denoted by epsilon, and it is to derive the amount of chemical species that it take in absorbance at a particular wavelength.
Okay, so same questions to Yukta.
Yes, sir. So molar extinction coefficient is the measure of the chemical species to absorb a particular given wavelength of the light.
Okay, so question number 2, what are isocodamers? Yuvraj?
Sir,
Yuvraj?
Yes, sir. Can you please?
Isocodamers. What are isocodamers?
So they are the presence of restriction enzymes. They have a slightly same different recognition sequences.
Okay, so Yukta, same question to
But
you.
at the end, they have the
yes, sir. So isocodamers are the pair of restriction enzymes they have slightly the different recognition sequence, but upon cleaving of the DNA, they form the overhangs that are generated are identical in case of isocodamol.
So, third question. Uh, what is the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction and how it acts? So two components are there in this question. So first is to Yuvraj. What is the role of isopropanol in DNA extraction and how it acts?
So isopropanol is basically used to for the precipitation of DNA from the solution, and it neutralizes the negative charge and the negatively charged phosphates in the DNA, and also it hydrate the water molecule from the DNA.
Okay, so Yukta, same questions to you also.
Yes, sir. So isopropanol is used along with the salts to precipitate out the DNA. So what happens is the salt neutralizes the negative charge, which is present on the negatively charged phosphate in the DNA molecule, and the isopropanol.
So thank you, Yukta and Yuvraj, both of you. Atoiba is absent. Okay, so thank you all. Stay safe, stay happy. See you again on Friday in our next session. So we will discuss the question that I asked you today. So those who have all of you can evaluate yourself and who have answered right and who have answered wrong. Okay. So thank you all. Stay safe, stay happy. Good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.